I want to call to order the regular meeting of the Leitchfield City Council, and I ask you to stand as Jessica Emery is going to lead us in pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't have a large agenda tonight, and we'll go right through our agenda as Lori's presented them to us and as she sent you to your emails, and have a copy in your front of your desk. I want to say welcome visitors, and towards the end of the meeting, it get to visitors earlier. If you want to make a question or anything, you'll be more than welcome to. You have a copy of the minutes attached to your agenda. And I ask that if you've looked through them, if you've seen additions or corrections, now would be the time to say it. Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion.
Clayton?
Second.
Tootie, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval and ratification of the bill list.
I'll make a motion paying its chief.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm down to visitors, and Lori Woosley's loving husband Jeremy's here with us. Some weeks ago, Lori brought me a request from the County Water District to change a water line at the end of Watkins Wood Drive, and this is due to the construction of the bypass. And she had given it to Earlene for kind of her stamp of legal approval. Earlene, did you get a chance to look over that?
I did, and I spoke to their attorney and authorized a few minor changes, but I put my seal of approval on it. And good to
As
go.
we have presented to us?
yes.
Okay. Okay, anybody want to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Jessica and Moon, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval. Sabrina, we're kind of getting into the financial business here. If you want to, you want to say anything to us? This is approval of the January 2022 financial statement. Does anybody got any comment on that or a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Clayton and
Second.
Billy Dallas going second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Sabrina, now we're up to the first reading of the amended budget for fiscal year 2021-22.
And to take a little reading off of Sabrina, I have volunteered my services to read the first part for her.
Okay.
An ordinance amending the City of Leitchfield, Kentucky annual budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government. Whereas the City of Leitchfield, Kentucky has heretofore adopted its budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022, by ordinance enacted June 22nd, 2021. And whereas it is necessary to amend the said budget ordinance in order to more accurately reflect the revenues and expenditures of the City of Leitchfield, Kentucky in certain budget categories, now therefore be it ordained by the City of Leitchfield, Kentucky as follows. Number one, that sections 1 and 2 of here and above described budget ordinance are amended to read as follows, with deleted portions being indicated by a single line drawn through them and added portions being indicated by a solid line drawn beneath them.
Okay, the projected cash at June 30, 2021 in the general fund stays the same at $6,527,305. Tourism fund stays the same at $1,165,438. Net profit return stays the same at $380,000. Occupational taxes stays the same at $2,200,000. Property taxes stays the same at $677,500. Insurance license taxes stays the same, $750,000. Franchise taxes same at $325,000. ABC application and regulatory fees same at $230,500. Other licenses same at $900. Restaurant taxes, same at $770,000 on the general fund and $770,000 on the tourism fund. Transfer restaurant taxes stay the same on general fund, $770,000 negative. Hotel taxes stays the same at 7,000 in the general fund and 7,000 in the tourism fund. Transfer of hotel taxes stays the same in the general fund of negative 7,000. Mineral severance income stays the same at 16,000. Rental income stays the same at 60,950. Other revenue in the general fund goes from 755,067 to 757,767. Interest income stays the same at 31,025. Sale of property stays the same at 39,000. Grant income in general fund goes from 20,900 to 28,400 in the general fund, and tourism fund from 900 stays the same at 900. HB 413 base court revenue stays the same at 7,500. Incentive pay stays the same at 86,000. IDC employee contribution stays the same at 114,800. Volunteer fire run stays the same at 1,000. Grayson County Fire dues stays the same at 135,000. State aid fire department stays the same at 11,000. Planning and zoning permit stays the same at 4,500. Municipal road aid stays the same at 131,000. Garbage pickup fee stays the same at 1,390,000. Solid waste dumping fee stays the same at 700,000. Recycling fee stays the same at 2,000. Animal shelter, animal control income stays the same at 61,650. Parks income in the general fund goes from 263,715 to 283,215. Recreational income stays the same at 85,250. In the tourism fund, tourism other income stays the same at 5,750. Tourism aquatic center revenue stays the same at 194,500. Total current year revenue in the general fund goes from 8,480,257 to 8,509,957. In the tourism fund, 978,150 stays the same at 978,150. Total revenue and carry forward. General fund, 15,007,562 to 15,037,262. Tourism fund stays the same at 2,143,588. Expenditures of the general fund, general and administrative, goes from 3,046,350 to 3,053,850. Alcohol beverage control stays the same at 391,225. Industrial development coordinator stays the same at 130,650. Police department goes from 2,142,450 to 2,145,150. Fire department goes from 863,025 to 873,025. Planning and zoning stays the same at 120,950. Public works department stays the same at 2,804,350. Animal shelter, animal control stays the same at 349,250. Parks goes from 512,690 to 532,190. Recreation stays the same at 467,425. And the tourism fund, tourism goes from 500,017 to 503,517. Tourism aquatic center goes from 594,200 to 602,450. Total current year expenses in the general fund changes from 10,828,365 to 10,868,065. And then the tourism fund, 1,094,217 to 1,105,967. Current year net income or loss in the general fund goes from loss of 2,348,108 to 2,358,108. In the tourism fund, a loss of 116,067 to a loss of 127,817. Projected ending cash balance with carry forward. General fund, 4,179,197 to 4,169,197. The tourism fund, 1,949,371 to 1,037,621.
Thank you.
Good job, Sabrina. Anybody got any questions on Sabrina? You want to make a motion, or are we going to make a motion
That's
second
a first
reading?
reading. We'll have to read it again.
Yeah.
Don't get to listen to that one more time.
Anybody's got any question about Sabrina, she's available, and she wants to answer those questions. I think, well, I'll talk in a minute about that. Approval to remove Kayla Milliner as check signer and add Gina Blanton. Yeah, I want a motion on that, please.
So moved.
Second, Clayton, all in favor?
Right.
Okay, unfinished business, we got Miss Tammy Saltzman here for a meeting update on Bevel Park Trail Grant update. Tammy?
I just got this, so I really have not received it, the email. I have not had a chance to go over it. Chris Smith sent it from me, from Scotty's, and it is really high. So I wanted to go over it with Wes to see what we could do versus what they can do to try to break it down.
Okay.
So I have copies of it if you guys want to look at it, but I really haven't had a chance to I just glanced at the total and kind of dropped my jaw.
Okay,
So, but that's all I have right now for that.
okay, we should know more about the next meeting then?
I pray so,
Oh.
yes.
Okay. Anything else?
That is it.
Okay. Thank Tammy. This past week, Earlene and Tyler and I met in Earling's office. And very similar to the planning and zoning, when we implemented planning and zoning, there was a lot of getting used to it. There was a lot of over-regulation, over-enforcement. And we're seeing now there's some parts of our code enforcement that we're going to go softer on and or make some changes on. So with the upcoming work session we got coming at our next meeting, we're asking for your input to that. There's just some things that Tyler, although he read the book and he was going by the letter of the law, it's at this time it's just not appropriate. And we're going to soften up some of that. Person's got a house in Kuiper subdivision with the roof falling in, and Tyler corrals it, or the trash coming out, the neighborhood's pleased. But when you go in and look at cars that sit there, a collectible car that's in somebody's carport, or hobby cars that's there, it's tough to tell somebody that they can't have them in their yard. But when they have multiple cars with no wheels on them, no windshields, no doors, we're still going to go after them. And that's not saying we're not doing away with the code enforcement, but we're going to have to fine tune it to make it acceptable to what people is ready to accept. Earlene, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in. One of the issues we had saw was, we adopted the model code that many other cities go by, but, we are a more rural area than some more what I would call like metropolitan areas. And so what I had spoken to Tyler and what I was going to present to the council was, and we can hold it off to a work session, or we can kind of talk a little bit about it tonight. On the vehicle ordinance, there's not an exception for those cars that really don't fit into a category. What we had talked about, if we had an exception for recreational vehicles, and that would, bring a different type of exception that would allow for those vehicles to be on your property without being tagged and without, and when code enforcement went into effect, we knew there would be these steps along the way to fine tune it to what fit our area. And I think that's what we're running into. And, Tyler's just doing his job and he's just enforcing what we've, but doesn't mean we can't make changes to fit our community. And I think that's one of the things we've recognized. And I will say, there's been no citations wrote. There's just been some letters that circulated. So it's nothing that we can't fine tune. What I can do, I can draft an ordinance that amends it, and you all look at that exception.
Is a nuisance, is it classified in that too? Would that be a nuisance if it?
It's classified as one of the code violations, the
Right.
model code that we adopted. It's listed. It's unlicensed vehicles, and so, I think the issue is running into is like antique cars
Yeah,
that people
I
are
can
kind of
understand.
working on, and the definition, if you could get that exception for recreational demolition derby cars. And I think there's and we may have to work on the definition some, and I present you all some options, because, one demolition.
Can you get as simple as don't park them in your front yard?
Yeah, like I can make it broad too, so.
I mean, really?
Yeah, I can make
That
it
would
as
be,
broad as
that would
the
be something I
council.
would add.
Well, Earlene, something I would add too, just because I had someone reach out to me, and I don't know how you would go about doing this, but what if they have like a third, there's two people in the house that drive, but they have a third vehicle in case one of their vehicles messes up that's not licensed. If it's a completely operable vehicle, it wasn't in bad condition, but they got, I guess, a letter.
Yeah, and I think that's where Tyler was headed. He wanted to take unlicensed out and base it more on the condition of the car.
Yeah.
And I think the letters that were sent was based more on kind of informing people, which, some people probably already, some people may have not knew their car would, depending on the circumstance. But I think that's acceptable as long as it's in repair. But the council, I'll do whatever the council, I'll bring some options, and you all can look at the definition I come up
And you
with.
probably, you still have people that's licensed and insured that set them there too.
Yeah, but.
I mean, so that
but-
would be a different,
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the city's job to parole that either, 'cause
I think some of Tyler's connection with some of the cars in the community was, Tootie's got 2 or 3 junk cars in his yard. So Tyler cited him or talked to him, asked him to move, and he said, well, what about that car?
I understand.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of
Yeah.
things that the police has caught on are things that would otherwise go unnoticed, except when somebody calls the police department and wants something to be investigated, they're gonna show up. And I think that's some of what Tyler's run into. And like I said, we got some many mountain issues, abandoned houses and business places. I sent the crew out today behind ambulance service down that street. Awful. And they went out there and picked it up, and I told them tell the property owner and renters, will not tolerate that. I mean, it was awful. And we got so many mountain issues. Let's don't kill ourselves on the little issues.
Yeah, and what I will say is I think Code Board is, we're right on track. We've got our second meeting tomorrow, and we're gonna have some houses to you by the next meeting. So we're trucking along, and we're just, we got growing pains right now, like anything that's new. And I think this is one of those things along the way you tweak to meet your community's needs, so.
Got 3 houses we're gonna talk about tomorrow. Anybody got any code enforcement questions? Jessica, you got any? Billy?
Is one of them on Central Avenue?
I'll have the list to bring you all next time, but there are 3 on that
There are
will
3.
be presented, so.
Yeah.
It needs yellow tape around it.
But if somebody living in that house,
Oh, my gosh.
awful.
God.
Judy, you got any
No.
questions?
No, sir.
Clayton?
No, sir.
Moon? I said, y'all got those code enforcement books in the library at home. Open them up and look at them. The car thing's in there, and that's what we can change. This is a never changing thing. And we're just gonna work on it. I want to put the time into that in our next meeting, where we'll meet an hour early and we can discuss it. So be gathering your thoughts for that work session.
And anyone that comes to the work sessions that doesn't have access to the book, like a copy of the book, I keep an extra copy down here, so if anybody wants to look, I'll bring it to the work session.
We have basically copied what Franklin's done.
Yeah, and we're a little bit smaller than
We're
Franklin.
a little bit
and so
smaller
we're
than
just
Franklin.
gonna-
It's just not apples for apples,
Yeah,
and we're finding that out. But that's not something we didn't expect.
yeah.
I'm going to jump in ahead of my notes. I heard Sabrina talk to this year, Tootie and Jessica and Billy will be part of the budget staff and in the budget process. And Sabrina's going to start trying to meet with them in early April. And I got a task for this group here. Recycle is a topic which everybody's dear to everybody. We're a big recycle family ourselves. And I think everybody's for recycling. I don't know anybody that's against recycling. but we had discontinue. We were losing about $200,000 a year on the recycle project. And we went to, Wes went to Greenville. They had a recycling facility down there. We got down there, it was closed. It's not reopened. Warren County discontinued it for the time being. I talked to Kentucky League of Cities. He said, I don't know any community there's nobody wants it. There's nobody wants to buy the product. And if I ask each of us, are you for recycling? You're all for recycling. But we cannot recycle based on it's politically correct. We can't continue to recycle or start it back up because it's election year. We got to manage and run the city based on firm financial status. So I'm going to ask Tootie and Jessica and Billy to work with West Shaw and get the figures. If somebody wants to buy it and gives us enough money for it, we'll get back in the recycling business. And I want you three to bring us back a report. Are the communities of recycling, who are they? And where are they selling the stuff at? Wes has got a meeting with who coming up?
It's our Southern Branch APWA Association for Public Works. I've got a meeting Wednesday with them, and I'll talk to some of them, different public works departments around this area of Kentucky, and just see if any of them started back, and if so, how they're handling the situation and all that. So I don't know.
Who would be a good person to contact at Kentucky League of Cities that might know of the counties that are? Do you know who that person
Well, no,
would
we
be?
asked this, I don't know what meeting it was, but we had a Kentucky League of person here, and I asked him who was recycling, and he says, as far as I know, no one. And matter of fact, Bob Decker was down here a few weeks ago, and he come back to my office to speak to me, and I said, Bob, I said, I'd sell you our recycling program for $1 a month. He said, Mayor, he said, I can't afford to lose money the way the city's lost money on it. So we're gonna, like I said, if I ask you tonight, Billy, are you for recycling? You know what his answer is?
Yes.
Yes. Jessica's yes. Duty's, we're all yes. But like I said,
Well, so are they buying cardboard?
Yes, we are still selling cardboard.
So do we want to, let's promote it.
Do what, I'm sorry?
Let's promote it if they're selling cardboard.
Yeah. well,
We can
sell
pick up
it-
cardboard, can't we?
Yeah,
We
sell
still
it to,
are.
A to Z,
Yeah.
Bob Decker's, where he
But
actually.
what are we getting out of
last
that,
week. I
Wes?
think it's up to like $90 a ton now,
Okay.
so it's coming back a little.
This was a relationship issue that with President Trump with China. That's what it amounted to. That's where all this recycled stuff was going. And there's nowhere to take it. When we have it over here, there's nobody wants it. But if there is, we want to do business with them. So we're going to depend on you three to bring back a report at our next meeting. Okay. Based on the auditor's report, as of April the 4th, that'd be the first business day in April, we're going to try to go to cashless transactions at the scales and at the animal shelter. And we have put up signs and put people on notice that's what will happen. And also, Lori and I talked this afternoon, we're going to try to put that as a date to be out of and be ready to transfer the property to the old City Hall building to its new buyer. It'll be the first Monday business day in April, which is April the 4th. Okay. I've been talking with people on the Planning and Zoning Board, and Dave Vickery as well, and Earlene, on billboards. The billboard thing has not got out of control, but it could easily be. And we get a string of billboards along this South Main stretch, it would look awful. So I've asked them to try to curtail that and try to issue, they call it a text amendment about billboards. But I've not heard anything yet. Maybe, but I talked to Tyler and talked to Dave Vickery about it both. Okay, our next meeting will have a work session being at 5 o'clock. It's open to the public, and we'll try to come up with some great ideas. We've fixed the roof on this building, cost us $11,000, and we're working on the...
Actually, they give us a deduction on that, Mayor. The bill was only for 10.
Is that right?
So,
Well, I seen that Mike Pence at church yesterday, and he asked me, and he sent down 2 people, didn't charge us a penny, and it wasn't. And now we're having another issue, but we're working on it. Wes, Shaw, you got anything you want to say?
I do. April is cleanup month, and we're having our annual cleanup day where we try to walk around some of the streets in the community and volunteers come in. I think that's going to be April 9th.
April 9th?
It's Saturday, and the Grayson County Judge's Office contacted me today, and they're having their tire amnesty, where they take tires in and all that, and they'll be dropped off at our location, but they'll be the ones handling it, and it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Okay, well, that's good.
That info is on their Grayson County page. So I hope everybody comes out, and we have good weather this time.
It's been 2 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been, we've had to cancel it.
Is Tootie Cottrell going to be available to fix
I'm
hamburgers?
hoping he's gonna cook.
Well,
Okay.
Wes, that's what I was going to ask you. Is that date set in stone? Because you realize that spring break, there's probably going to be a lot of people gone that day.
It's not really set, we just decided to do it because it's the last day of the tire amnesty. So people can bring tires in, and if we clean up on the side of the road, and we'd have tires we could like get rid of while we got them. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
We're going to open every Saturday in April, and then we'll continue to open the first Saturday each month through the fall, like we've been
Yeah,
doing.
yes. We could possibly do it the Saturday before that.
That'd be the second, yeah, but if you want to go inside with the tire, we would have tires on the property.
Yeah, we would have them there, and then they could maybe possibly take them.
You want to go to April the 2nd?
I could be there on April the 2nd, but could you, I mean, you could too as well, right?
Tootie, can you cook?
Yes.
April 2nd?
Would that work for you?
Yep.
Margie, would that work for you? Clayton, would that work for you? Moon?
Yeah.
Let's go to April 2nd then, Wes.
Okay, that'll be fine. And, I'll have
3
to
weeks.
send something out,
What that is.
Okay.
verifying everything.
talking about the tires, did you all get the numbers to Dee Dee that she was needing?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I
And-
know she said that grant was getting ready to close and she
Yeah.
needed those, so.
Yeah, I think so, and we've still got a few, but not,
Okay.
most of them were the ones that we've been taking in.
You got anything else, Wesley?
No, I'm good.
I would like to, I've been thinking about, of course, I'm into trash, you know that. And I know what you're thinking, I can't help it, she was from Clarkson, but I had to marry her anyway. But I'm thinking about having a Sunday morning mayor pickup, maybe once a month. I see places through town that needs trash picked up, and it's just more than I can handle. And if we could get some volunteers to come out, I'd meet like on Sunday morning by about 7 o'clock. Be done doing our hour, and then call it a day. And maybe the first Sunday of every month. If anybody's interested, let me know, and we'll do that. David Riley,
Nothing, Mayor.
you sure?
I'm positive.
Earlene,
I don't have anything.
Lori?
Chamber luncheon is this Thursday. I think I have Clayton down. I think that's the only one that I have down. Does anybody else want to go?
I can't make it.
I won't be here.
And then the only other thing I have is Channel 2 update. Lee actually come in Friday, and we have determined that it's something within our firewall or something that's blocking it, because he was able to install it on one of David Riley's computers and get logged in. So it's something internally here. So he had contacted Josh, and I think they're working on that, so. He even
Okay.
tried another computer in the front office, and it wouldn't let him in either. It's getting the same errors, but he could go to David's side that's not got the same IT people as we do, and it was going through, so hopefully we'll get that resolved pretty quick.
Just let David handle Channel 2.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's supposed to be secured anyway, isn't it? You got a place to secure it?
There you go.
They do.
Anything else, Lori?
Yes.
No, that's all.
Sabrina? Tammy Salzman?
We're just getting ready to wind up baseball state is March 14th.
Okay, you had a good program this weekend, didn't you?
We did. We
Yeah.
had disc golf had 90 participants, and then we had a baseball tournament down at the softball field.
I was down there Saturday, I guess, had a big crowd. Moon, you got any comment?
What's this fuel cost gonna do to the budget?
Listen,
It's gonna make us amend it.
it's not good at all.
Wesley and I were actually, I think, was it you and I talking about that this morning, the fuel?
Yes, fuel.
Yeah. It's already eating our budget up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask for a 50% increase.
Yeah, I think the heads of the departments need to come down on their employees that's driving them every day. That's your job, guys.
Anything else, Moon?
Yeah, bring it to us and we'll listen to you.
Clayton?
Yeah, with Scotty again.
Was over there.
He
this
caught me
weekend.
out, he caught me out Walmart the other day.
He was in my office this
Yeah,
afternoon.
I mean, I went over there during the rain, whenever
Right.
it came at flood Saturday, and I was unable to really tell a big issue. I mean, there was some water coming down through there. Of course, we had a torrential rain,
Right.
but it wasn't any more than anybody else's. But, and I'm not sure exactly how to fix that yet. Scotty's given me a price of 40-some thousand to fix that drain in that corner, and I don't think we could justify that.
We could blacktop.
Is it getting in somebody's
subdivision
house
for
or something?
$40,000.
Oh, it's not getting in their house?
Not that I'm aware of. He says it runs down his driveway.
His driveway.
It was getting in his house and then they redid it
It has flooded the basement.
and
Flooded the bay, and
Recently,
I don't know about rain.
since they redid it?
I don't know about
Yeah.
that. I know his story.
yeah.
but it's digging, but he said it was, digging a trench, it was washing out in his yard and, was causing, and it was just going right on down to the other people too.
Now, it's not good.
Yeah, and it's just over the years, because that was concrete, the whole
Can you
street
rip
was
wrap it?
concrete at one time.
That's what cost us so much, Billy, it's that.
Yeah, it was concrete, and then they blacktopped over top of it.
And it
So
kept
it's only
raising
got
it
about
up
an
above that
inch
little
back.
curb lip. So that's where we're at, but that grinding cost us so much.
The grinding costs more than the blacktop and actually laying it and all that.
So for them to come over here and grind that hump on?
Grind it down to where it would be like a trench kind of down.
Right.
Or a swell, and put it back in like it should be, was right at almost 40,000. So I don't know.
We'll let utilities cut across the road and it'll be
Yeah.
ditched.
Anything else,
Okay?
Clayton? Margie?
Like, we'll look at that again and see what we come up with.
Just to
Okay.
report that the big truck has not been back down there.
I understand that. It's, I heard where it was at.
Anyway, he hadn't had it
Maureen,
back down
well,
there.
I'm glad it's,
since
I'm
that
glad
night.
it's, I would give myself the impression that he had been asked not to park it down there before the meeting. And he had not been asked, cause, I forgot who talked to him. He said, nobody's ever named it to me.
That's what he told me.
Yeah, they told you.
Yeah.
And as far as I know,
It's
he's
never
not.
been back, so.
Not been back. Judy?
No, sir.
Jessica?
Just a reminder that when we had our work session at the last meeting, we talked about formulating like a plan that we could put into action to address our goals. And so I had told you guys that I would create a list of whatever we come up with. So if anyone has any ideas from that strategic plan that you want to send to me to add on what we can address right now, I'll have that ready for us to look at the work session.
Okay, give it to us a day or two before.
Okay.
Maybe you can give it to Lori and she can send it out.
Yeah.
With,
But if you all have anything, just don't forget to send it to me so I can add it to the list.
Billy?
Yes, we had this committee, Recreation, Park Recreations, had a meeting with baseball, Little League, whatever, I don't know what you call it, but Little League with them. They have, we'll give you a little history. They have all new board members on this. I think there's 5 of them, right, Tammy? They don't have no director yet. And director's a big job. I mean, they do the schedule, they do take care of most of the gripes and complaints. Had a few complaints that Jessica had brought out from some parents and things, and like I said, they're all new members, so they're all real green. Well, they're just new. There's new people getting into it that
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They're all really
It's
excited.
not. Yeah, they are real enthusiastic about it. So I think that'll be fine once they pick a director to do that. I don't know if you've heard anything from them or not, Tammy, but we give them a couple ideas, but like I said, they were working on them whenever we left, so. I think their sign-up's done with yours, same time?
Yes.
So both,
Clarkson, you mean?
no, us here.
Yeah.
Is Little League and softball cut off same time?
Yeah, same time. They're both meeting at the same time for live registration also.
And the numbers are low, guys. So if you got a neighbor that's got a kid, go over and knock on their door and say, I think it'd be cool if you take them recreation softball or baseball, because like I said, Tammy can test, I think the numbers are gonna be down, and they have been down for years, and we just gotta entice some kids to come play in our park. And it's rough.
It's a good facility.
It's beautiful, guys. Everybody that comes in here on the weekend that plays is just like, when I saw the picture of the kids, the ball teams fishing, okay, that made my day. They're in their uniforms and they were lined up around the lake fishing in between games, guys. I mean, that's awesome for them kids to be able to do that here. So, but like I said, I think they'll get it worked out, and we was there to help them, so we had our meeting with them, and
Everything you left in good shape.
they left, I think so. We give them some guidance, and they give us some what they thought where it needed to be, and we told them that we would back them when they brought it, whatever got the kids in the park.
Now, when I was over there Saturday, they were having the disc golf program,
Yes.
and I think that's really went over well too. And I've had a number of people send me emails and stuff saying, promoting pickleball, and said that pickleball is really the big thing. But anything else you got, Billy?
That's all I have.
Sabrina, Jeremy, do you have anything you want to say, tell us? Ruby? Terry?
Come here.
Budgie? Scott? Jana? Yes.
I hear LaRue County and Hardin County actively promoting that on radio for their recycling. I don't know what that entails, what it does, but I do know I hear that. And then if the recycling is not going to be started again, do we still have the dumpsters outside the gate?
Yes.
Because those need to be done away with, in my opinion, because we are just promoting people bringing in their garbage. If you ever see what's out there, it's not recycling.
No, it's garbage.
It's garbage, and they're not from the city. I just say
That's
they're
exactly.
not.
If you don't have a dumpster there, it's on the ground.
Well, I know, but I spend a lot of time picking up what blows out.
Oh, I guarantee it.
It's a
But
mess.
Wesley can tell you,
I know.
It's a mess.
yeah.
But I mean, they're used to them.
Yeah, they'll just take them to other dumpsters in town, and Tyler will just have to bust them for. That's
Jenna,
been-
maybe
That's been a
with
problem
this-
for 25 years.
Maybe with this report, the next 2 weeks, Westy's visit to his meeting, where's that meeting at?
Henderson?
Start saying, the mayor goes to lots of these meetings, but I won't go to that one. That, like I said, everybody's for recycling. It's the right thing to do.
I'll check with them.
Yeah.
Then they've just now got used to just.
And of course, they could do recycling. Like I say, we were losing $200,000 on it. And I'll be honest, if I was gonna lose $200,000, I'd buy these colorful trash cans that we've talked about. I'd rather do that than recycle, because it looks better. But now, we need to recycle if any way we can do it. Do we have to make money? We don't have to make money. But we don't want to lose our butts.
Right.
We've got to be fiscally responsible with what monies cities provided us with tax dollars. If I don't hear any other comment, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?